Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution episode 1149. Happy Monday. Welcome to the work week. I had some duck friends visiting my backyard this morning. I was just looking out. I see the neighbor's dog is out, so hopefully he doesn't chase the ducks. What's happening? Hope you had a good weekend. Watched some wrestling last night. I didn't watch much WrestleMania last night. I watched most of night one. I missed 2 or 3 matches night one. And night two, I wanted to watch the main event. But I had some at a podcast. I was on my friend Crawley's podcast. Had another newspaper that called dinner, so didn't turn WrestleMania on until the end, and I'm glad I did. And at one point, I'm like, I'll just watch the replay. But I'm glad I got to watch it live. Feel a sneeze coming on. I'm glad I got to watch it live because, excuse me, it was awesome. So Dan, we won't talk much wrestling, but Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns main event. When I turned it on, I turned it on, and all of a sudden I see John Cena in the ring. I'm like, what's John Cena doing out here? And he's face to face with The Rock in the ring. Cody and Roman are on the outside of the ring. So John Cena's like, you can't see me, but The Rock saw him. The Rock saw him, and The Rock did the rock bottom or whatever, and John Cena, now it's The Rock. And then what happened? And then Seth freaking Rollins came out. It's like, geez Louise. Seth freaking Rollins comes out, and he gets set up. And then I think at that point, Roman Reigns came in, and he did his thing on Seth freaking Rollins. So it's like, oh boy, here we go. Roman and The Rock, they're cleaning house. And it's going to be Roman Reigns is going to win. And then all of a sudden, the lights go down and it's dark. Boom. It's The Undertaker. And The Undertaker appears. And The Undertaker takes The Rock and he slams him. And then Cody and Roman come to. The Rock can't interfere because he's hurt. And some action happens. Cody does the cross cutter or whatever the hell it is. And Cody, 1, 2, 3. Cody Rhodes is the champion. And he beats Roman Reigns. It was very emotional. It was an awesome end to a great story. So there you go. There's my wrestling talk. Now we can go on with the show. It was good. I might tune into Raw tonight just to see the Raw after WrestleMania's. Oh man, a yawn. I woke up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Maybe it wasn't even 4. I've been waking up at 4 a.m. the last few days. But anyway, it was a pretty cool story. The Raw after WrestleMania is always a good one, so I might tune in to check out Raw tonight. So so as you can see, it's a generic thumbnail, and what's happening this week? That means I don't have a topic, so we can just talk about what you want to talk about, which is kind of how we roll every day anyway. But what's happening this week? I will be this Saturday in Janesville. Where's that thumb or screen thing at? I guess I could take down that December show. There we go, all the way at the bottom. I'll be in Janesville, Wisconsin this week. Saturday at the Holiday Inn Convention Center right on I-39, Janesville, Wisconsin. I will have new quarter boxes, baseball, football, non-sport. Might have a new basketball box also. So come check out my quarter boxes this Saturday, Janesville, Wisconsin. And don't forget the following Saturday, April 20th, 420, is the Madison Card Show, the Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive. And once again, we'll have 175 tables, 3 ballrooms on April 20th in Madison. So come out to that show. It's Topps Heritage Release Week. We did we talk about that yesterday? I think we did. Oh yeah, because I bought the case live on the show. So it's unfortunate because I've already seen there's already Topps Heritage is already live. Singles are live on eBay. So some people got their product early, which I can't hate on because I've gotten my product early and you take full advantage. So good for those people that got their boxes early. They're ripping and flipping. Somebody in my Cubs group posted there's a Pete Crow Armstrong rookie relic. It's priced at like $35. Don't buy it. Super high price. It's going to be $5 in a week. But you take advantage of the first on the market. So who knows? Maybe it does sell. So hopefully, since I put my order in yesterday morning, hopefully Blowout Cards gets it packaged up and shipped out today so I can have it on the official release day Wednesday. But since I did put the order in on Sunday, my fear is it won't get out in time to be on my doorstep on Wednesday. But we shall see. So Topps Heritage, it will be in my eBay store hopefully by the end of the week, including Cubs. Now, am I going to put all my Cubs? No. So basically from here on, when I acquire, especially when I'm ripping a new product, I will keep the Cubs I will keep the singles for myself, and the duplicates will go into my eBay store just like a Cardinals card or a Yankees card or anything non-Cubs. So you will start seeing Cubs new product in my store. The other day I mentioned, I'm like, there's not a single Cubs card in my store. And later that day, guess what I sold out of my eBay store? A couple Cubs cards. Matt Mervis first boom. I forgot. I'm like, oh yeah, because I was trying to take advantage of the market a year ago when Matt Mervis was, hot, and sold a couple Matt Mervis cards. So that was nice. So I forgot I had those. There might be, because there's been times where I've taken like a stack of Conlon collection or what else? Allen and Ginter, where I had not sorted every single Cubs card out. And so there were some Cubs hanging out in those. And when they got scanned through, I'm like, oh, I missed a Cub. Screw it. It's going to go on eBay. So there might be a couple Cubs cards in my, let's see, out of 54, I think I have 54,000 listings somewhere in that vicinity. I hate the app. I was using the app last week, and as I was like clicking around, it said, hey, how do you like the eBay app? And I put don't like, and I told them why. It's useless for sellers. I don't even know how many active listings I have. Oh man, I can't stop yawning. Wow. And I go to hit active listings just to see what are my active listings. It just doesn't work. So the eBay app sucks. Hopefully they do something and change it. Let's get to a question here. Red Light 34 says, what was the first year of Topps Heritage? I believe it was 2001. So it started with the 52 design. So this year is the 75 design. So you can run those numbers, but I'm pretty sure it's 2001, and it started with the 52 Topps design. There you go. Mark Marinello has the answer. 2001. 2001 was the first year of Topps Heritage. Max says, it's weird, but I understand you need a computer to do business on eBay your way. I've never used anything other than my phone to list an item on eBay. And up until the scanner, I was the same. Before I bulk listed, if I was only listing, I had up until I hit maybe even 2,000 listings, it was all from my phone. Because at that time it was fast and easy, and I'll still list from my phone. In fact, what did I listed the Jay-Z, the Ryan Howard auto, the Aaron Rodgers rookie, the Ricky Henderson rookie. Those were all listed from my phone. But when you're listing in bulk, like you can't scale up listing on your phone. You've got to have a scanner helps, computer certainly helps. Because I'm not using the eBay website to list. I'm using, Car Dealer Pro and Excel. Even before I was using Car Dealer Pro, I was using just an Excel spreadsheet. I would scan. In fact, when I started, some of you may have not been around watching Hobby Evolution when I started my bulk listing pre-Car Dealer Pro. I was listing, so I had moved from listing on my phone, like during the pandemic when I was scaling up, and I was working from home. It's like, oh, I've got some free time. I always had a stack of cards next to me. It's like, I've got a couple minutes instead of going out like your coworkers have their smoke breaks. I don't smoke. So, well, I want a break too. So I'd list cards. So that's how I rolled. And it's like, there's got to be a faster way. And back in the day, there was the what was Turbo Lister. And I used that back in like 04, 05 in that range. And of course, that was retired. And then there was eBay File Exchange. And there was a user on Twitter, I think on Twitter, or just maybe emailed me. And he's like, hey, you got to use eBay File Exchange. And gave me a template. I tweaked my template. And I was using the eBay File Exchange. Now, what's eBay File Exchange? So you can list in bulk without Car Dealer Pro and without a scanner. Now, it's not going to be as fast as using a scanner in Car Dealer Pro, but if you don't want to spend the money on those things, you can absolutely do it. And I did it. You would take a pile of cards, take photos on your phone, and then use third-party photo hosting that lines up with eBay, because not like Google, and I don't think there's a free photo hosting site that works with eBay. You would have to use, I used a website called Image Shack, and it was unlimited photos for like $16 a year, which is pretty damn cheap. So I'd take a stack of cards and take photos, and then I would upload them to Image Shack. And then you could use, and then somebody else like, hey, you can like copy and paste if they're in order or whatever, and you'd copy and paste, and then boom, you copy and paste down your spreadsheet, and then you just type in the information on Excel in an Excel spreadsheet. And basically it's like, you try to do the same set or the same sport, and you can just type in all the information. You just copy paste baseball, copy paste tops, copy paste your price, generic description and all that. So that's how I rolled with eBay File Exchange back in the day. Now, there were certainly some hiccups with it. With Image Shack, it was kind of a pain, but it was still faster than just listing from your phone. So that's how I got started. And then the scanner came along, and then I started using the scanner before Car Dealer Pro. And so I was scanning those into Image Shack, and it's like, oh my God, this saves so much time. And I'm scanning them into Image Shack. And then all of a sudden it's like, try Car Dealer Pro. I'm like, oh my. George is in the house. Good morning. What's up? I should say good evening to George out in South Korea. Philly Joe's here. Good morning. Happy Eclipse Day. Good luck, and wear your sunglasses. So I'm in Wisconsin, which I've seen the maps, like total eclipse. The total eclipse of your heart is going to go through like Southern Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, kind of, I don't know. So like I'm not going to see the total eclipse. So what will I see here? I don't know. People are crazy about this. Like, it's just another day. Like, is there anybody that's excited about like you are, like people have taken the day off. I have a Facebook friend. Him and his son have taken the day off work and school, and they are traveling to Indiana to view the eclipse. I guess you've got to be like a science nerd to like do that, right? Like, this means nothing to me. Like the eclipse, like, oh, it's an eclipse. Is this apparently it's a big event. but it's just, I have no interest. And you have to get special glasses. What if the glasses don't work and I go blind? I remember back in the day when we were in grade school, there was some sort of eclipse that came around in the early 90s. And I remember in grade school, we made our own. We made our own eclipse viewing boxes out of like, I don't know, Kleenex box or something. And then we went outside and looked. Maybe that's why I have to wear glasses. maybe I didn't make mine correctly, and the teacher didn't check it. And that's how I have shitty vision and wear glasses. Steel Cards is here. Good morning. Kyle's in the house. What's happening? Johnny Boy Cards. Good morning. Happy Monday. Dan is here. What's up? Happy Solar Eclipse Day. Congratulations on your big day last Friday. Thank you, David. I appreciate it. Andy Mack is here. Welcome to What Bo Had for Dinner, episode 1149. It was Salmon Sunday. We do Salmon Sunday here. Some people do Taco Tuesday. We do Salmon Sunday. So we had salmon, broccoli, which makes me gassy, and gnocchi. I love saying gnocchi. So that was what's for dinner last night. Salmon, gnocchi, and broccoli. I think it's going to be in the mid-60s today. The snow has melted. It's happy. I'm not cussing like I was on Thursday morning last week after shoveling 7 effing inches of snow last week. Boo. It is sunny. The sun is out. The snow is gone. For the first time in like 2 weeks, it's not cloudy. Happy days are here again. So it's going to be a nice day. So I went to the grocery store yesterday, picked up some burger meat, some buns. We'll do a little grilling tonight. Steve, what's going on? Good morning. Cubs, how about it? Take 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers. No complaints here. Have a great week. Thank you, Steve. Yeah, what a series. Cubs really poured it on yesterday against the Dodgers, along with the rain poured it on and the Cubs poured on the runs. Yeah, great weekend, and I'm glad I got to see a win on Friday at Wrigley Field. And I can't wait to get back. I think what I need to do moving forward, I have been a fair weather fan. The only time I have been to Wrigley pre-Memorial Day was for special events. Obviously this year for the 1 millionth card. A few years ago, back when it was Fox Sports, they invited me to do a show. It was a show called like 10,000 Cameras or 100,000 Cameras. We actually did an interview, which didn't air as part of the show. So it's in their archive somewhere. But they were going to follow me around at Wrigley Field. And then you know how TV works. TV production works. But the show, which didn't make sense to me based on what the show was basically clipping your footage together. That was the whole basis of the show. And then they follow a few people around. I think there were a couple interviews, though, as part of the program. Mine must have sucked. And they're like, don't use this guy. He sucks. So, but a lot of my own footage was captured. And it was like the first week of May. It was not as cold as, this weekend, but it was chilly. So those were the only times I've been in April or early May. But I think moving forward, I think I should probably go to an April game when it's freaking cold, because just like the way I work, I like the change in seasons because it makes me appreciate the warm weather. If you're in, you get sick of things. Like if you do them day in, day out, do you like steak? Probably everybody likes steak unless you're not a meat eater. But if you are a meat eater, you like steak. Yeah. But if you ate steak every single day, you'd be like, oh, steak again. That's just how we need a little change. I need weather change. And so I think going to a cold game at Wrigley will help me appreciate those warm, hot June, July, August days at Wrigley Field. gets my juice like, oh, I can't wait to come back when it's warm. So I can't wait to get back to Wrigley Field. My buddy's like, Scott, we've been friends since like preschool. We grew up across the street from each other in beautiful Anawan, Illinois. And we're driving back, and he's like, we're going to have to come back because Friday was like not like what we do, like our annual, we take like an annual Friday 120 game and make a day of it. We go, pregame at either Sluggers or Yaxies, and then go to the game. And then after the game, we'll hit up either Brick House or Murphy's and or Bernie's, and then head back because we're not late night party animals like we were in our 20s. So obviously we didn't get to do that. Friday there was other stuff going on, and it was cold. So now next time we go, it's like, we're going to do 2 games this year because we're going back when it's warm. So I can't wait. And it really got my, it whet my appetite. Now it's like, I need more Wrigley Field in my life. Dave, what's going on? Good morning. The dead man cometh. Great to see the Undertaker last night. Mark says Cody finishes his story 3 crossroads. What did I say? The cost cutter, the cross cutter, crossroads for the pin. My buddy went and said it was cold. Red light says hit the like button. Thank you. Mark says 48 years ago yesterday, the original and best Bad News Bears was released. Our Little League coach took us to see it. Very cool. Was that with Walter Matthau? Was he the coach in that film? Dave says, looks like today will be a shipping day. Is that free shipping is crazy? Take it from Dave. I've been telling you, people. I've been telling you. Dave says his sales have doubled since he switched to free shipping. Don't believe everything I say, but believe me when I say free shipping works. So free shipping. Yeah, it's going to be a big shipping day for me. I was my inventory management failed me, and I'm running low on labels because the reason I failed at inventory management was because you could save like $5 on Amazon by ordering and subscribing. What was happening was I would order and subscribe, I'd save $5, and then they'd be out of stock when they went to send me another one. So I would have to go buy another one. I'd save $5 to subscribe. All of a sudden, I'm subscribed to like 3 different products, and then they all come back in stock. And now I'm overwhelmed with, and I'd have to go back to my Amazon account, but I bet it's been a year, at least a year since I've last ordered thermal labels. And I had to put an order in yesterday, and I'm running low. I think I have like 2 labels left, but I did a lot of shipping yesterday. I went through almost an entire roll yesterday. And I'll have to go through another roll when I get a new roll in. So I had to do a little, I listed some baseball cards. Yeah. Speaking of, so I was listing some cards yesterday. These things, why are these such hot sellers? Upper Deck Predictors from 1995. So I listed 2 about a week or 2 ago, and somebody reached out and they're like, hey, do you have any more of these? And they sold right away. Somebody messaged, and I looked, and I think I undersold them like at $1.75. I think I probably could have got $4. But it's like, hey, they're going to move fast at $1.75. They're just in a random box. So I listed a whole stack of them yesterday, and boom, again, I've sold most of them already. So if you see Upper Deck Predictors, baseball, and maybe other sports sell, I don't know if they have other sports, but Upper Deck Predictors, boom, big sellers. Charlie's in the house. What's up? Listing and shipping and coffee with Stuart the GOAT. Christian, good morning. Mark says, and Mark's got our day in history. I like it. That's always a popular segment when I was doing morning radio. This day in history. People like that. 50 years ago today. Oh, this is a big one. 50 years ago today, Hank Aaron broke Babe's home run record. Watched it with some buddies as a 6-year-old. Next day, bought a pack and got the Aaron #1 card. Very nostalgic weekend. That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Orlando's in the house. Good morning. Todd says, good morning. Do you know anything about Darren Rovell's new business? I do, a little bit. Is it a newsletter? I don't follow him. I'm not sure he's good for the hobby. So he has gone in with a couple other people, and they're starting basically a hobby news website. What the hell is it called? Is it called Collect? Collect Media. CLLCT. Collect Media. No vowels in Collect. It's the premier collectible media site by collectors for collectors. So it's going to be interesting to see what it's all about. But one of the people that's involved, I believe, was part of. Oh, I don't want to say it because let's just click on the website here. Let's just share the screen also. So this is what Darren Rovell's up to. Collect Media. Here's the website. Is it sharing? Okay, let's just full screen it. So this is Darren Rovell's new thing, Collect Media. It's basically a hobby news website. So it's got news like exclusive. Connor McDavid, game-worn jersey, sells for $250K. Mickey Mantle Type 1 photo sells for record $843,750 at auction. And a memorabilia thief details heists in 60 Minutes interview. So those are all from today. There's Darren Rovell doing some stuff. Some other stuff. There's Hank Aaron's 715th home run. Who caught the ball? It's an anniversary on this date. So maybe that's where Mark Marinello was getting his information. On this date. Hobby Evolution on this date. Tiger Woods wins the Masters in 2001 to complete what is now dubbed as the Tiger Slam. 1974, which Mark told us about. In 1975, Frank Robinson became the first black manager in Major League history when he debuted in the dugout for Cleveland. A big day in history. In 1989, Major League hit theaters. And in 1993, I did not realize The Sandlot and Major League were released on the same date, April 7th, 4 years apart. So there you go. So that's Collect Media. Does it have information on, this is the homepage. So yeah, so that's what it's all about. I think it's I don't see it being bad. It's just it's a news site, and people will complain because people complain. But it is, I'm indifferent. Will I look at it? Probably not. I'm not really big into hobby news for the most part. So, just one of those things. Just another. I think, hey, any new website with Darren Rovell's reach is good. We answered that. Max says, we answered that. Let's see. Mark says, thanks, Philly Joe. Merle's in the house. Good morning. By the way, I blame you for me ordering 2 Heritage Hobby boxes. Baby, I will thank you later. Well, hopefully you don't get a dud. Hopefully your boxes are not duds. Max says the app still works just fine. Still need to realize all the memory needs to load, though. You want it to do something that it's not built for. But it used to be built for what I need it for. Up until 6 months ago, I could do everything I needed it to do. And what I also don't like about the new app is when I go to my seller hub and it has my 90-day totals, I like to track this information. It doesn't have exact numbers. I don't want estimates. So it says I have 52K plus active listings. That could be 52,017. That could be 52,999. I like to know exacts because I track these things. Now I have to go to the website and track these, which is okay, but it was easier to do it from my phone. Same with sold. It says, gives me X amount sold. It says under tasks, I can no longer I can no longer send or accept or counter or decline offers from my phone. It says tasks. You are all caught up. Once you have new tasks, they'll show up here. Let me tell you. Am I all caught up on tasks on eBay? The answer is hell no. I have 234 orders awaiting shipment. I have 20 open offers, and I have 28 listings eligible to send offers. So it's the app to me is worthless. It used to be, I used to be able to do all of those things, and now I can do none of those things. Charlie says, I haven't seen any issues with the new app developments, different, but haven't found any lost functionality. That's good. I have lost all functionality from what I used the app for. It's crazy. Max says, I still think smoke breaks are bullshit. Why do people that don't smoke get punished and not get breaks? So some companies do. In fact, the company I worked for, we went, ironically, nobody in my office smoked. It was a small office, maybe 20 people. And I think maybe one of my coworkers toward the end of working there, but I worked there 8 years. In maybe 6 months of those 8 years, there was a smoker. Actually, at the very beginning, there was a coworker that smoked. But no smoke breaks. But ironically, we had like a new 15-minute which was basically to appease the non-smokers. It was a small corporate company, but so it was just kind of a cookie cutter rule. So we had a 15-minute. So I took advantage of it, and especially when we moved to the new office, we had there was like a nice walking path, and there was a little stream that ran down. So it was nice to get out in the warm weather months and, take a 10, 15-minute walk. Also, if anyone smokes, choose vapes, quit. It's stupid and you smell like ass. Brian, good morning. Peter, happy Monday. Joe says all the schools in Ohio are closed today for the eclipse. Wow. Wow, that is something else. But I get Ohio probably is like, they're based on, from what I remember of the map I saw, they're kind of like dead center for the eclipse. They're at the total eclipse of the heart. Kyle says, I love this time of year on eBay selling lots of 2021 Bowman Prospect lots I listed last. So isn't that great? Like, I'm still selling. I'll move like 2019 Heritage Miners lots that have been in my store since 2019, 5 years later. And I'll still have like, oh, here's a nice $15 sale from a prospect lot that's been listed for 5 years. Charlie says, in the transportation world, we have tolls just for eclipse-related delays. Insane. Oh, I did not realize you were in transportation. I did not realize that. That was my previous job. Max says, nobody cares about the eclipse. Same people that would rather go to a national park or a hike rather than a card show or a sporting event. Weird Patagonia wearing Subaru driving MFers. That's funny. Oh, tools. We have tools for eclipse related delays. Mark says, belated congratulations. Thank you. I appreciate that. Brian says gnocchi is underrated. Oh, it's so in the Trader Joe's gnocchi is the best. We've tried some other gnocchi from and it's the free. It's nothing compares to like homemade or from Italy. But we like the Trader Joe's the best. And when my wife makes a Trader Joe's run, our like whole freezer is filled with bags of gnocchi. Jamie's in the house. Happy Monday. Orlando says Marlins finally won a game, 1-9. Wow. Were they the last winless team in baseball? I haven't really followed the standings. I don't even know where the Cubs are in the standings because it's April 8th. That's why. Let's see. So AL East, wow, 4-6 is the worst record in the AL East. The White Sox are 1-8. That's worse than the Oakland A's. How pathetic. Sorry, White Sox fans. Wow, the Astros are 3-7. I didn't realize they were that bad. Again, it's April 8th. I understand. Marlins 1-9. Pirates 8-2. How about that start? Rockies are 2-8. So it looks like the Marlins and White Sox have the worst record in baseball. Worst records. Unicorn Cupcake driving to see the environment while increasing their carbon footprint or whatever. Seems legit. Oh, Low Roller Scratcher is back. He's back with Bitcoin. To the moon. Bill Simus, good morning. He says, buy Bitcoin now. Merle says, I started my new listings with free shipping, but need to go edit existing listings for free shipping. Need to look up how to bulk edit again. It's pretty easy. Let's see. Just go to listings, go to active. Here, let me see if I can see if it'll work if I show you. All right. So go to active listings. All right. Here, we're going to show you. We're going to have to present that screen. All right. So where's that? Okay. So here you go. So manage active listings. You're going to scroll down and you're going to get 200 at a time. And you go to edit listings 1 through 2,000. You can edit 2,000 at a time. And it's going to spinny. And it's going to bring up your 2,000 listings. And it's going to take a second. My highest dollar piece of inventory is my Triple H debut ticket stub from April 26th, 1995 at the Mark of the Quad Cities. It's really not it's basically a museum piece. I had somebody say, it's in terrible condition. The best I can do is 150. And it's like, no, it's basically just there for show. If somebody wants to buy it for 1,000, I'd gladly sell it for 1,000. I think my offers are open above 500. And, I think 750, I'd probably be like, yeah, I don't need the ticket stub. $750 is good. So you go see over here, bulk edit, and you can go to, let's see, is buy it now price. Buy it now price. So buy it now. Oh, so the difficult thing is, like, these are all like obviously different priced cards. So if you kind of know if your inventory's about the same, you can just go click bulk edit, buy it now price. Oh, and you can increase it by, or, oh wait, you want to do free shipping. Oh my God, I'm an idiot. So that's price change. Let's see, shipping. Let's see, where is it? Preferences, sell it faster. Shipping policy. So shipping policy, you can change to, and then I think you have to create a policy. Unless you already have, you may have policies already, but then change it to here. Be like, I want flat standard shipping 3 business days. That's your handling time. So that's how you do it. That's how you do it. Where are we at? Unicorn Cupcake says, how long do I have to wait before I double money on Bitcoin if I buy now? No lesson plan for the week. I usually don't wing it until May. Troy's in the house. Good morning. Andy Mack says, yesterday was evaluation day for the flag football league I run. I walked about 9 miles. Holy crap. I'm a couch person, so I'm feeling it today. I bet. Low Roller thinks Bitcoin will hit $1 million, but he has laughing emojis because he's full of it. Merle's too busy for Bitcoin, investing in cards at a penny each and making 40x on them on eBay. There you go. Low Roller says, I sold more Simpsons cards. Unicorn Cupcake says, I'm not greedy. I don't want $1 million. I just want to double my money. There you go. Low Roller says it takes another 6 months. That's to double your money. That's pretty good. 6 months, double your money. Christian says the predictor cards, some of the cards you got from Upper Deck if they ever happened. Be careful when you list. All sports have them. Some are very rare. Uh-oh. Low Roller Scratcher says if Bitcoin doubled your money, if Bitcoin hit 150K end of the year. Mark says, I'm so old, I lived on this date. Cooter says, Tom House caught Aaron's home run. Low Roller's biggest bet is Dogecoin. It makes him the most money. Max says, can still access all this stuff through the website on your phone. And that's a pain in the ass. Like, that is like the website on your phone, the eBay website on your phone is like, it's clunkier than Sport Lots. It's a pain in the ass. Jeremy's in the house. John Calipari to Arkansas. I saw the talk on that. That's pretty crazy. Max says I have zero issues with offers and all that stuff on my phone. And some people don't. I do, and I know others do also. I think there's a few people in the Hobby Evolution Facebook group that have said the same. Charlie says, weird, all that still works fine on the app for me. Max says, are you Apple or Android? Brian got a great deal on a 2023 Archives Nolan Ryan Hilltoppers red foil of 25. PSA 9 for $40. Not bad. Huddle Card Collection, what's up? He can still respond to offers on his phone. Well, my app sucks. Kyle says, my app works fine for offers. I bet the app can't handle your volume of listing. That could be. That's probably what it is. And I don't want to spend the time talking with an agent on the internet that doesn't know anything. So I just deal with it. So basically what I've resorted to is it's still a real pain in the ass to accept when people send me offers. Like, I often just ignore them, especially if they're like dollar offers on $1.50, which, like, people are like, I stopped taking offers because I'm tired of the dollar offers. Just ignore them. Like, you don't have to spend time. Just ignore them. So I'll go through and I'll check. Let's see. And I know, like, I'll see if they come in, I can do it on my phone if they're in my if they're in the, like, on the notification bar. So I can go through, and if any came in here, like somebody counter offered my Relic, and it's like, it's a Relic card, so I'm not going to ship it. I'm not going to ship it into PWE. And I know some people do, but I don't like to. But I'll tell this person, he countered at $4. I'm like, I'll take $4 if I can ship it PWE. So accepting offers that people send to you on the website is very clunky because you can't bulk accept, decline, etc. But listings eligible to send to offers, that's easy. You can just click on it. And then I just do 10%, and then oftentimes people will counter unless there's like if it's an item that I feel is overpriced. Like, some of this stuff is all newer. Like, right now I can send offers. There's a Jackson Holiday Bowman's Best that's listed for $5, and it's like, that's 10% off is good because that's a pretty liquid card. But if it's, say, a Peter Tago in-person autograph, and, well, it's only listed for $250, so it's like, I'd take $2. Max says people still use Android. Blows my mind if so. Brian says smoke breaks are BS. Yes, but hopefully the company you work for understands the needs for random breaks throughout the day. Paul Carl in the house. Good morning. Hope I didn't miss the dinner talk. It was Salmon Sunday. Salmon Sunday. Andy Mack is a Pixel guy. eBay app works fine for me, though. I just wondered if it was the app not working as well on one device. So with my issues, and my issues have started, and it was a slow, my eBay app issues has been a slow decline. It went from like, I'd have to refresh. It went from working perfectly fine, like say last summer. Up until last summer, it worked perfectly fine. I could do everything on my app. And then all of a sudden it wouldn't load my offers, listings that were eligible to send offers. And so if I hit refresh, it worked. And then the next time I may have to hit refresh twice. There was one time I was taking Biscuit for a walk and I had to refresh, and I kept hitting refresh. I'm like, I'm just going to do this to see how many times. I was over 50. And finally, once I hit 50 refreshes, I'm like, okay, F it. I'm done. And then it was not like I basically figured 50 is, it's not going to work. And then when the new app, when the update came along, then it took away, like, it doesn't even show my tasks anymore. It says that I'm all caught up, which is completely not true. So the option to send offers isn't even on the app for me. Plus the estimates, the approximates. I don't like the approximates. Brian is Android for life. Wow, that's a bold move. Android for life. The funny thing is, I was team Android up until 2014, I think. And that's when I switched to iPhone. But I don't use Macs. I used a Mac when I worked at the university. We used Macs at the university. I moonlit at the newspaper. We used Macs at the newspaper. Like, the laptop that I would take the games to do my stories was a Mac. Our desktop Mac, I don't know, is that what you call them? I don't know. And I hated every minute of it. But I love my iPhone. But I don't like Apple computers. Dave says, I live in Plattsburgh, New York, and all of our hotels have been booked full for months just to watch the eclipse, and our schools are closed. Wow. That's amazing. I didn't realize it was this big of a deal. Merle says, I don't get notifications for offers made on my iPhone. I can still respond to offers, though. Don't believe me? Send me some offers. There you go. Send him some offers. Max says, no breaks for anybody at my company. Not necessary. Andy Max says, Android has a 70% market share worldwide, 40% in the US. Brian says, not even screen breaks, coffee break. What do you do? Max says, work for number one, brother. Work for number one, brother. Would recommend to anybody if you have the drive. Huddle card collection. Easy to switch shipping options if you use business policies. Yes. Paul says, if your listings all have the same shipping policy, then it would be fastest, easiest to edit the shipping policy to set it to free shipping. That way allows you to edit all of them in one shot. What Huddle said. Great minds think alike. Max says, I use Apple for everything, iMac, iPhone, iPad. Have never had a single issue. Can't say the same with BlackBerry, Dell, Gateway, Asus, Motorola, Nokia, LG. Did you say, yep, you got Gateway in there. When are card prices going to come down at shows? Hopefully never. Unless it's Cubs, and then I want the Cubs prices to come down. Dan says, maybe you need to update the app. I've done it. I have deleted the app multiple times. It's automatic. My apps automatically update, so all the updates are up to date. I've deleted the app and redone it several times. None of it works. Huddle Card says, I set up auto decline on my listings so I don't deal with lowball offers. Paul says, we had salmon yesterday too. Salmon Sunday. Paul says, the app does just break at a certain number of listings. Nothing you can really do about it except use mobile site. It works best if you request desktop site in your mobile browser. Okay. That might be a little easier. Android, the only way to go. Apple F-bomb sucks. Uninstall, reinstall. I've done it so many times. Doesn't work. Red Light says Mac sucks too. Harlan says good morning. Also, Android for life. Wow, bold moves this morning on the Android for life crowd. My eBay app works fine. It's got to be like Paul said. It's got to be the number of listings. Porter says, good morning. I'm dreading the influx of Eclipse gawkers that I'll have to deal with today. Our turn has been overrun. Max says, I forget I'm very young for this demo. Probably just too old to figure out quality. So Max is just a young whippersnapper. So that's about all I had for today. This Saturday, Janesville, Wisconsin, I'll have some new quarter boxes. I'll have at least 2 new football boxes, at least 1 new baseball box, and I'll have a non-sport box. We'll do a YouTube live sale. We'll sell off some bulk next week. This week is Janesville, next week. So I think we're just going to set it up for Thursday. Nobody had any insight yesterday, so in the chat. So we'll just set it up for next Thursday night, which is ahead of the Madison Card Show, which is April 20th. So come on out and shop. Janesville Saturday, Madison a week from Saturday, April 20th. Set Cards is here. Good morning. Solar Eclipse Day. Yes, it is. Max says, it's weird. I'm not sure I know anybody that owns an Android. Seems like everybody here does. I remember. So when I went back to school in 2010, 2011, and I was in one of my classes. It was a sales class, and professor says, raise your hand if you have an iPhone. And like the entire room raises their hand. And then he said, and this is a class of about 50 students in class. Raise your hand if you have an Android. And I'm like, there were 2 of us out of 50 that had, and that was over 10 years ago. It was about 12 years ago. And then I saw the light and went iPhone in 10 years ago, 2014. You know the reason why I went to iPhone? Because of the Rookies app. I first discovered the Rookies app probably in 2012. And it says, coming soon to Android. And I'm like, come to Android. And it never came to Android. It's still coming soon to Android. 12 years later, it still has not come to Android. So in 2014, it's like, okay, I'm sick of waiting for this damn Rookies app. I'm just going to switch to an iPhone. I'm glad I did. So there you go. Billy Joe is 100% Android. Wow. I am also surprised by the amount of Android users in this chat. Can I post a poll in here? I don't think so. Let's see. Yeah, Max says apps will always be developed for Apple first. And I think the reason why, and I have a couple app developer friends, and I think the reason why is it's so much easier than Android. Like it's more difficult. I think it's more I don't know. But is Dan an Android user also? Holy shit. But that could be, Dan's in South Korea. So that just may be like Android in South Korea. And Dan, you can, is that the reason why in South Korea, Android's just the way to go? Like in America, it's Apple, it's iPhone. So I wonder if that's the case where Dan is. Paul says, I switched to Apple because I don't trust Google. I don't trust Apple either, but slightly more than Google. Porter had an iPhone 3GS in 2010, then Android every year until 2021. Finally made the switch back and can't believe I waited so long. Charlie says, always bothered me that Apple is more status than function and charges a name premium. Charlie is Android all the way. Wow. Max says, is it an age thing? I don't think it's an age thing. Dan says, lots of Apple users here too, though. Okay. Paul says, I use Windows for everything else. Will someday become Richard Stallman and do everything from command line on Linux. I don't understand what that means. Philly Joe says there's a reason Apple is being sued by the feds. Steel Cards is Team Android. My goodness. Brian's 40. He's a man. He's never had Apple. Don't think it's an age thing. Well, I think it might be. I think the over 40 crowd might be Androiders. Although there's a lot of us that are iPhone, we're over 40. But I think what Max is getting, because Max is a little younger and he's Apple all the way. Maybe it is an age thing. You boomers and your Androids. All right, Bob's with the over 40 crowd and rocking an iPhone. J2 Detroit. Maybe Apple users are at work. But Apple users have real jobs. Max says, I'm 34, 40 would go in that age pot. Johnny M is 64. He's an Apple user. Dan says, maybe I was wrong. Found this on a website for Android versus Apple in Korea. 71.06% iOS. Is that Apple? Oh. So 70, wow. So in South Korea, 71% Android users. 71%. So there you go, South Korea. Team Android. Brian says, I think the more tech-savvy folks tend to lean Android. The UI and customizations tend to attract people who like to dig into the settings on their phones. And I am not tech-savvy. So I want the damn computer to do everything for me. Hence my love for AI. Like, yeah, just you do all the work. Although they're like Paul's a techie guy, super techie guy, and he likes to play with settings. Apple seems to be ready to go out of the box, and that's how it should be, in my opinion. Charlie feels attacked. Where is my safe place? You are being discriminated against. Max is discriminating you. Just George says, people here use Apple as a status symbol. It's not actually a better product, just pretty and more expensive is all. Max says, I'm tech savvy. What the hell do you need to dig into your phone settings for? That is a good point, Brian. What settings are you digging into? Like there's settings on again, I'm not tech savvy. And there's settings like I'll see these like, make sure this setting's not on. It's like, I don't give a fuck if it's on or not. Like I don't know I don't even know what settings you would dig into. But again, I'm not tech savvy. Paul says Apple actually has some really interesting depth automation workflow tools built into the OS. On Android, I had to download a bunch of apps to automate stuff, and they had some limitations. Okay, there you go. So it's not as tech savvy as you think over in Android territory. Interesting. I am surprised by the diversity between Apple and Android in here. I thought there would be more iPhone as opposed to Android. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Philly Joe says, thanks for the laughs to end the show. Have a great one. We are wrapping it up. I've got some shipping to do. Have a great Monday. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Visit my eBay store. I will have the new Topps Heritage in my store. Hopefully Thursday. We'll see when my case comes in, but I'll have that loaded in my eBay store this week. In the meantime, shop. Great discounts available. And this Saturday, see me in Janesville, and mark your calendars for April 20th. It's the Madison Card Show. 3 ballrooms, 175 tables. Come out and see us at the Sheraton Hotel on John Nolan Drive a week from Saturday. Like, subscribe, and see you tomorrow.